There are signals all around us. Most of them go unnoticed. Some are born able to sense them, born with the veil still present, a mark set to thin the boundary between worlds. For a white witch, the boundary never fully closes. It becomes something you can see through, something you can feel. Respond not to fear the unknown, but to understand it, to listen when it reaches back beyond the veil with Tracy Jones.
Good evening. Let me fix this. I'm getting better. Oops. No, I'm not. Hold on, people. We'll just do that. I have no idea why I won't go full screen. I don't care. I'm going to be bringing Shawn out in a minute anyway. So I do know how to do the captions. So we're going to do that. I'm going to add that in, and you can just read that. It tells you to please subscribe to my channel, which is simply typing in at Beyond the Veil with Tracy Jones on YouTube. My book is available on Amazon. You can get it by Kindle, paperback, or hardback. And it's called Witchcraft by Blood and Tradition, Beginner's Guide for Witchcraft. And it's about myself. It's about my great-grandmother. And it's a lot more than just witchy stuff in there. I teach you how to create your own apothecary. And, just there's a whole lot in there. We address abuse in it, where to go for help. And all. It's just very wide-ranging and very easy to read. And so far, very proud to say, every review has been 5 stars. So with that being said, let me introduce to you, if I can pull him out here correctly, my guest for tonight, Mr. Shawn Ellis. I did that good. I have no idea.
You got it on three.
Yeah, I don't know where my 2 went.
There should be one that double.
There was, and I don't see it anymore. I'm going to try something. You might go away. I don't know.
All right.
Hold on. It's not there. I have a 3. I have this one. I got one with the little boxes at the end.
You got one that splits?
Nothing. I don't see it.
Yeah, there should be one that splits.
There usually is. And there was right before I started talking to you. Let me try this. F8. Oh, shit. That didn't work. Did I go away?
No, you're still here.
I'm going to leave the freaking buttons alone. Oh, my God. This is the only other one I've got. I'm going to have to. Oh, maybe it was shift. I'm going to try that one more time. So I have up to, this one says key shift 7. Maybe I'll try shift 8. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. One more time. Okay, I give up. Always has to be freaking something just when I think I've got everything down.
It's computer gremlins at their best, Tracy. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, but it happens more with me. Okay? I'm like the gremlin goddess.
I've had cameras go out on me in the middle of a podcast and for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden start glitching and everything else. So don't feel bad. I'm not.
I just don't know how to make it go farther down. There's no arrow that says keep going for selection. And I don't, if I start hitting buttons now, you'll end up in like Pittsburgh or something like that. At any rate, how you doing, Shawn?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Trace?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much, sir. For those that don't know you, besides being an obviously a patient man with a good sense of humor, please introduce yourself.
My name is Shawn Ellis. I am the founder and owner of the Eternal Ex-Wolf Pack Paranormal and the host of the Eternal Ex-Wolf Paranormal podcast.
Shawn and I worked together once upon a time in another world, another dimension, and absolutely awesome guy. He is a shaman, and I want him to talk about that. Can you tell us what made you realize you were and what you do to learn and grow?
Well, I guess that goes back to one of my very first investigations. Is I met a guy. His name was Ed Mueller, and I was on the very first investigation that I was ever on with a team, anyway.
Uh-huh.
And I seen him do some amazing things. I seen him take an attachment away from a little boy, and it was caught on SLS.
Oh, wow.
And the attachment actually literally walked away and walked backwards and out of the room. And it was very intense. It was like really heavy there at the time because he did what he did. He did his ritual to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And later on down the road, one of my former teammates took me in and got me into Reiki, which I'm grateful for her. That was Tammy Christensen. And I started learning Reiki, which is energy work. And then the shaman stuff just kept holding up with it. It kind of went hand in hand. And then I knew I needed to take it and start learning shamanism and stuff like that. And it helps because it falls in line with the Reiki. Plus, I've got access to Wiccan and Peruvian and Egyptian.
Right.
And it helps out a lot, but you learn a lot of things about the Native Americans and how to deal with stuff.
I was going to say, for those that don't know what shamanism is, can you describe it? Like what it's about?
Basically, for me, it's kind of like a Wiccan. You're being able to deal with the Indian stuff, understand what skinwalkers are, how to help to take care of them if they're running around. Do energy work around that would, like I said, the Reiki goes hand in hand with it for me anyway.
Okay.
But it's to learn about nature and how things work and to be respectful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. You had told me once about an exorcism, if that's the right term to use, about the little boy, and he was flipping the lawnmower up and down. Can you tell that story? I love that story.
Well, it wasn't exactly an exorcism. It was actually me and a former teammate from the old team, and Tammy Christensen was there, which is my Reiki master. We were doing an investigation with the same little boy that Ed took the attachment away from. He ended up having another issue, so we went back to figure out what was going on. And me and a former teammate was upstairs in the garage area, and we had something up there. We were investigating coming up on the SLS, and all of a sudden Tammy yells down here, you guys need to get down here. So the former lead jumped down there, and then he hollered at me and said, hey, we got something going on here. But the 12-year-old boy at the time picked up the front of a 3-blade riding lawnmower, which is fairly good size, and was bouncing the front end of it just like a basketball. And that night, the night before we went, I was going through my Menaki rites, and I had a talk with Anubis at that night, and he showed me what I had to do for that situation. And luckily he did, and it helped out that we entrapped that spirit that was in that little boy that happened to.
So what are Menaki rights?
It's kind of like being able to be grounded to anything and everything around you.
Okay.
And be able to transfer bad energy into good and vice versa.
How did you learn how to do that? Or is it something that comes to you naturally?
No, my Reiki master bestowed the 9 rights upon me, which only you can do if you have all 9 rights. You can do that to somebody else.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a ceremony, and you go through those rites, and it graduates you through different types of level of energy.
Okay.
And being able to adapt to it.
Okay. That makes sense. Because I've watched different videos and stuff, and I'm like, I don't get it. How do you get there? But it just, what does it feel like to talk to Anubis? What is that like?
Cool. That's actually really cool. I mean, when I seen him, we were standing behind a pyramid in Egypt, and he was showing me stuff, and he was showing me how they levitated the blocks. They didn't roll them across the sand on those logs like everybody
Right.
thinks they did. There ain't no way in hell. But it looked like a green glow,
Okay.
and it looked like those blocks were floating that they made the pyramids with was floating on air, and they were placing them in sections where the
Okay.
pyramid was.
That makes sense.
And he would show me that crystals and this and that and certain things to put together if I needed them.
Okay.
But he leaned down, he looked at me, and he grabbed me like, a brother shake. You know how you take your forearms and you link them together. And
Right.
he looks down at me and he goes, "Family." And
Give me one quick sec. I have 3 screens. I don't have a 2-screen option. Help me, help me. I just figured at this point, why not just interrupt the show, let them know what I'm doing? Otherwise, you're going to see me doing this.
But yeah, he said I was family. So
Mhm.
Anubis is one of my guides. So
Okay.
he teaches me things, and I've talked to him on numerous occasions.
How many guides do you have?
6 that I know of.
Okay. And
But
did you meet them all through this? The
Menacherites, yeah.
Menaki. I wanted to say Anunnaki, and I knew that was wrong.
But yeah, you go through a dream state, and your guides start showing up, and they also give you symbols and stuff that you can look up. Because I got several symbols that I didn't know what they were, and me and my Reiki master at the time, we went through them, and they said, "This is what you're capable of doing." And some of them I haven't even scratched the surface with yet.
So what are you capable of doing that we don't know yet?
Well, I do like energy work for sure. I definitely can manipulate the energy around me.
Okay.
I hold keys to certain things according to the dreams I've had. And I've done scrying. I can do tarot cards.
See, that alone makes me envious. I have tried and hey, see, she's trying to help me. See what I mean, Trish? You find it.
There you go.
Right there.
She got it.
I swear to you, that wasn't there a minute ago.
She found it. It's the hidden button.
Anyway, thank you, Trisha. Go on with your evening. I very much appreciate your bailing my butt out again. So I know I completely lost my train of thought. You hold the keys to what?
I would say the keys to being able to go from dark side to light side. I mean, I have the keys to balance.
Okay, so like with my stuff, it's there's white witchcraft, there's dark witchcraft, and then there's gray, which is what really everybody is.
Yeah,
you can't call one or the other.
I would say technically I'm probably more gray because I practice both sides.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to have that just as a human being. You can't be all white, light, and positive all the time. That's just not going to happen. Well, it's how you deal with the dark.
The keys is to balance. You mean to learn both sides of things, because if you don't, then you're only learning one side.
Oh yeah. That's another reason why I wrote my book, was to try to help people out instead of watching all this nonsense that they see on TV. But everything's a demon and everything is the devil and everything. No, stop it. How do you handle people I'll tell you how I handle people like that, but how do you handle people when they say, "Oh, you're doing the devil's work"?
Well, a lot of people might hate me for saying this, but people that go to church, you pray, you sing, you're casting spells. It's the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, in all honesty, it's just like everybody else does, but we all do things a little different.
Yeah. I used to work for Kohl's department stores, and way back when, like 20 some, maybe even 30 years ago, and the local newspaper did an article with me for Halloween, and it came out on the day that I was being promoted to what was called the Hardlines Area Supervisor. Basically, anything that goes in your house, I had to take care of.
Right.
And in there, it was like Tracy at that time, Lambert, is the only Wiccan witch Cole's employee that we know. And I'm like, I'm going to get fired. I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off, snatching up these papers. It was too late. So
I'd left them there. I'd like, okay, whatever. I'd left them there.
Well, a couple of people approached me. I'm like, just sit down. I said, when you do your praying, do you like candles when you go to church? Yeah, well, so do I. Same thing that you're doing. You know, I find that if you sit them down calmly, instead of telling them you're being a jackass, and just show them the comparisons, you know. Sometimes it helps, sometimes not. I've had little old ladies come up to me in grocery stores if I'm wearing my pentacle, and you're going to hell. And I usually ask if they have a message for their brother, since I'll be going there later. And that's the only time I ever get snotty about it. So
I don't really get snotty with them. I've just explained to them just like I did you and everybody else. I mean, everybody does things different. Everybody's belief is different. But that's one thing that I do. I mean, since I'm kind of versatile, and when I go on investigations, I do ask what they believe in.
Right.
And I work with what they believe in.
Okay.
To help them understand what's going on. It's not all 100% everything that I know.
Right.
But I will adapt to them for them to understand what's going on there.
Okay. Have you ever been, I don't want to say necessarily scared, but put off during an investigation or trying to help somebody?
So far, no, I have not come across anything like that. I mean, I've come into some pretty heavy and thick type feelings and very strong energy stuff. Okay. But normally that makes me curious. I want to stay. I want to figure it out. And
I get that.
And some people can't handle that. And like I said, with the Menaki rights that I have, it keeps me grounded. So I don't get that energy effect like most people do. Mm-hmm. It doesn't bother me like it would everybody else, where they get that, when they walk into a room or they can't breathe. It doesn't affect me the same way.
I've never had that. Have you ever done the God helmet?
No, but I do know what it is.
Yeah, I had that done down at Land Between the Legs. And let me tell you something. As much as I'm not afraid of any of this, because I know I'm protected, I passed my test a long time ago. Down there doing the God helmet and then an Estes method right afterwards, that nearly broke me, because I ended up channeling these two girls who were murdered in Land Between the Legs. Mm-hmm. And everything that was physically done to them, which was hellacious, I could feel. Normally when I do an Estes method or a channel, I can't feel what the person's feeling. I did this time, and it had to be because the God helmet opened me up. It's something I'd have to give serious consideration to ever do again. Well,
one of the things that I do that helps open my third eye up and stuff is I'll meditate with a tiger's eye. Mm-hmm. And you pick up that frequency or an obsidian or the crystals. I mean, that does help you open up certain things for you.
Mm-hmm. Trisha, our savior tonight, says it draws you in. You want to know more? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Once you get it into your blood, you're wanting to crave more.
Mm-hmm. And then we have this one. 100% understand. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And anybody that, in my opinion, anybody that says they're an expert or they know everything, you just need to sit them down and walk away, because look, I'm going to be 61. There's still so much that I don't know.
Oh, there's so much. Yeah. If you get that attitude, you might as well just hang it up, because there's so much out there that's still unexplained.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't have anybody on the show that says I'm an expert, because I don't trust my snarky side, and I don't want to ever make anybody feel uncomfortable.
I guess I'm privileged to the fact that I know several people, like the guy that teaches me shaman stuff, my Reiki master. If I ever run into a major bind where I don't understand something, I can always call them up in a heartbeat and get their opinion on something. And I can call other people from All Access Network, that I work with, like Nathaniel Elwell and them guys, and
Okay.
always get their opinion and advice of something I don't understand. And I'm not scared. I'm not scared to ask if I don't.
Right. Oh no, neither am I. And even though it took me a couple of weeks to recover from down there, I still love what I do and see. I can't imagine not seeing it every day.
Mhm.
And people are like, doesn't it scare you? No, because I grew up with it. So I'm sure like seeing spirit doesn't bother you either. It's something you get used to and you realize it's not like Hollywood says. So,
Everybody sees spirit differently.
yeah.
So
And then you have to put down the rules and let them know how they can present themselves to you. Because I say that years ago, I had a woman come through in her death state and it was a drowning. And I want to tell you, it was icky. And I said, I'll talk to you all night long, but you got to
mhm.
present yourself whole. And ever since then, I haven't had any problems with anybody. But that was a little unsettling. So,
I've only seen three full apparitions. I
okay.
mean, that are point blank the person to who they were.
Okay.
They were altered just a little different, but I definitely seen them as that. But otherwise, when I see a spirit or entity, it's like seeing heat come off the asphalt. It's in
Yeah.
energy waves. I don't
Yeah.
see it otherwise like you and me are sitting here,
Hmm.
but I see it like energy sitting in front of me.
Right.
But
Okay. What
the
was it? Didn't you, weren't you going to a mansion for a while doing tours or some kind of big like house or something? Was it
uh,
Broadmead? Were you with them or?
I went to Melbourne Manor
Oh,
with
that one. Okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember the name.
Phantom Pals back last Halloween. I went there.
Oh,
That was
okay. How was, go ahead.
we actually got the guy from one of the rooms that supposedly chased the ladies down the hall. It's a shadow figure. We got him to come out and did a little work with him because we seen his shadow come out of the door just lingering.
Oh,
He,
that's cool.
he actually set off the REM pod that I was sitting next to for about 15 minutes and nothing was going on with it. And I said,
Hmm.
hey, come out here and talk with me. Come out here and sit with me.
Right.
And all of a sudden that REM pod just went crazy. And then she come down there and moved it and adjusted a few things and it stopped. But we seen the shadow in the
Hmm.
door and they got me putting my hand into the shadow where it looks like it's going into it. It's kind of cool.
Did you feel extra cold air in that area?
It was kind of coldish, but it's
Hmm.
like energy. I feel the energy. I mean, I can take my hands and do this
Hmm.
and sit here and I can make energy balls with them and manipulate it because it feels like two magnets between my hands when I do this all the time. And
And
if I
when you, I'm sorry.
I'll take my hand and I can do this.
Uh-huh.
And I'll sit there and just let it feel it, and I'll start picking up the energy around it. So yeah,
Okay. I was going to, when you were doing this, something with a connection, it looked like there was energy all around your hands. Of course, a couple of times today, it looked like your mustache was catching on fire. So I figure if your mustache didn't catch on fire, it had to be something with the computer. So
yeah, it's probably the VR background in the background.
yeah, I love that background. That's really cool. Have you done conventions and all of that yet? Or I haven't.
No, if I go to a convention or an expo, normally I go to sit with some of the people I know and hang out with them and talk with
Okay.
them and stuff. But no, I haven't really done any big expos or conventions or big talk like that. But
Okay.
yeah, but people do know who I am from the show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, very much so. So what do you have coming up?
Well, I know me and Phantom Palace definitely want to go back to Melbourne Manor sometime this year. We're definitely going to do that. I want to go down to Alton, Illinois, and there's a lady that wants me to come visit her. She's been seeing things on her property
Okay.
and some stuff, and she sends me pictures constantly. Some are a little questionable, but some you can tell what's in them. If you
Yeah.
look,
Okay.
you can definitely see what's in them. I mean, she definitely got some activity of something there for sure.
Okay.
And there's also Pike Mansion down there I want to go to, and I know a friend that could probably get me into there. So I
Okay.
definitely want to make a trip down
I
there this summer.
I don't know Pike Mansion. Can you tell me about it?
I'm not 100% sure on some of the story behind it, but I do
Mhm.
know that it's one of the most haunted places in all Illinois.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Well, if you ever come to Maryland, I'll take you down to Laurel's House of Horrors.
Oh, yeah.
That's
If I
like,
get
oh, that
if
place.
I
Oh,
get down that way, oh hell yeah! Because I've seen a couple things when in the past when we did lives
yeah.
and
Yeah.
some of
My
the stuff
husband,
going
who
on.
sees nothing, saw like a kabuki face down there. I mean, it's just all kinds of. Laurel's House of Horrors is a haunted attraction that was built where asylums used to be in a nursing home, and they have all the antiques and everything. And to say the place is haunted is like saying I'm short. Yeah, I'm short. I'm 5'1" on a good day. So this place is off the chain. I guess like the one you want to go to, the
Hmm.
Pike's Mansion. Pike's, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I remember something about you guys were wasn't it a Dibbit box they had there? Like,
they have it's not an exact divot box. So they have this chest on with the legs, and it acts like a portal. I stood in front of it once
mhm,
and won't stand in front of it again because I felt all this hot air coming from it, and there was no hot air. This
right.
was like during, I don't know, October or something when we went. So there was no need for heat. There was no need for air conditioning. Everything was like just the right temperature. And I could feel it rushing out. But it's that's as close to a Divic box, if for comparisons. But I know a Divic box is usually has some kind of spells on it, and
Mhm.
all this stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know the background.
I remember you guys were messing with something. I didn't remember exactly what it was. I mean, it's been a couple of years since you've been, or about a year and a half since you've been there, I think. And
Hmm.
I thought maybe that there was markings on it. Now, I think I asked you after the show that night about that box because
Yeah.
because you did have some weird feelings afterwards that
Oh yeah,
went with it.
yeah, yeah. And what I still don't get is they put their hair in there. Like every actor will put their. I was like, you realize you're giving it your energy,
Hmm.
okay? If this is like already bothering you, why are you amping it up? But hey, to each its own.
Everybody does things different.
Hmm. Hmm. Have you
With
ever been out of the country to do any sort of investigation?
nope,
Neither have
but
I. We
I,
got to
def-
go.
I definitely want to go to Ireland.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got
Oh, definitely. What would you see in Ireland?
Well, my family has a castle over there that's supposedly being rebuilt, and I
I'm sorry.
definitely,
You're going to have to back up a little bit. Your family has a castle, and okay.
yeah, my heritage, I should say, has a castle that they've rebuilt from my mom's side that was called Hannah back then,
Okay.
and it's called Castle. It's over
Okay.
in Ireland. I definitely wanted to go see it because my uncle, he went over there before he passed away and actually seen it and brought back all the pictures and the emblems from the castle from stuff. So we know what's
Wow.
there. I
Wow.
definitely like to go see that.
How long has your ancestry? How far back does your ancestry go with that castle? Do you have any idea?
I would say probably quite a bit. I mean, I've had dreams about druids, which I know I've got the markings in my hands of the druid.
Hmm.
So, and that goes back to Ireland as well with the druids. And
Okay.
I know one of our colleagues from All Access, she's got the markings of the druid too. So,
Can you tell everybody what the marking is or show them?
well, it's right underneath your ring finger. It's like a little cross.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really see it on here because it'll deform, but there's like a little cross underneath your ring finger. It
Hmm.
goes back to the fact that it says Wiccan. You have somebody in your family that's a Wiccan,
Hmm.
or it's somebody that's a druid that
Okay.
deals with the same type of stuff. And druids and witches, to me, kind of fall hand in hand in somewhat, but some are a little more advanced than others.
Yeah, I always thought druids were more about the forest. I could be totally wrong in the trees and all that. I I am
But it all
woefully.
links to
I
nature
don't know.
and grounding and stuff too. But some get
Okay.
into the darker side of it. You know,
Yeah.
druids.
I was on a podcast not too long ago, and they asked me if I could tell if somebody was bad. I said, yeah, we all can tell if somebody's bad. You get
Mhm.
that feeling,
Right.
and most of the time we just want to brush it off. And he says, well, how do you know with being a witch, how do you know a bad witch? I said, well, you're Christian, right? Yeah. You ever come up against a Christian that's a real jerk? Yeah. That you just could not wait to get away from? Yes. Same thing. Same thing. It's
Our,
not all this.
our energy vampires, you feel drained when you're sitting around them
Oh, yeah.
for no
Yeah.
reason at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes people don't even know that that's what they are.
I don't really get drained. I deal with one all the time here lately, but I don't really get drained. It's more like irritating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just got to get up and walk away and just chill on my own.
I like when you said that every time we speak, we cast, because that is so true. And I try to tell people, if you're always talking negative, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and it's all bad stuff. Well, I think a Christian would say, reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, and it's hard to change people, because that's like my husband. I love my husband to death, but negative shit comes out of his mouth all the time, and not bad stuff. Just it's
Right.
like, you need to stop that and flip it, But sometimes that's just the personality.
Words of manifestation actually carry a lot farther than people realize.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I told somebody once. I said, that old expression, "Words cut like a knife." I said, "Why do you think that is?" So, and then I had to inform them that abracadabra was actually a thing, and not just from the Flintstones, and that blew their mind.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's definitely interesting too. I mean, a lot of people don't understand what certain things will actually do. I mean, like I said, you could actually sit there by saying something bad about a person and send that negative energy on top of them and not even realize it. It just keeps compounding for that person instead of saying, hey, why don't you start thinking a little different? Why don't you start giving more positive stuff? Give more manifestation of better things to do instead of being so negative, and watch how things change.
Yeah. And I can't tell you how many requests I get to put a hex on this one and put a spell on that one. No, I don't do that. I cannot intentionally cause anybody harm. I can hate what they do. I can't hate the person. And what I would end up doing is trying to manifest for them a way for them to see they're wrong, what they did wrong, and to change that negative behavior into a positive behavior. But
Right.
People who think it's just like charmed or any of those other witchcraft, bewitched or something. I'm going to wiggle my nose and stuff's going to appear. That's just simply not it.
Normally, when somebody asks me to do something like that, I normally just look at them. It's like, no, I said, I'm not going to do that because karma will come back and bite you.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen time and time again. It might not be tomorrow, might not be next week. It might be about 4 months later, and all of a sudden, all hell will break loose. And people does not realize that will happen. But if somebody's actually got a problem with another person, I show them what they call a mirror spell.
Okay.
And that's where you write their name on a piece of paper. You dip it in water, and you stick it in your freezer. So it just kind of keeps them, for whatever somebody sends you, any negative stuff sent to you, it just goes back to that person. It's not karma. It's not anything, but if somebody's actually sending it to you, you think?
I have one that's very similar to that. And I've got a couple people in the freezer. Someone you and I both know in common. But that was a fun one to do. I do it as a last resort. Not that it's going to harm them. It's not. But you will lose all contact with the person, and they will leave you alone. So, you can send me a question on paranormalwhitewitch@gmail.com if you want to know how to do it. I'm not going to say it here because then it might get taken funny.
That person that we both know, that would say things like that. I just let it ride, and you and I both know, along with everybody else that has left, it's falling apart and bitten. Karma's came.
Yeah. And to a degree, I feel bad for the person because they could be having the best time in their life, and
it could have been
as much wrong as was done. I have to, the positive side that I'm looking at, I wouldn't have met you, and I wouldn't have met all these other wonderful people and I
Mhm.
wouldn't be doing this. So there's one positive thing that came out of it, and I'll
Right.
take that and run with it.
Right.
So
And that's a good thing, is the fact of. But some people will not learn until it actually settles in and they hit rock bottom.
sure, sure. Is there anything that you won't work with, like Ouija boards or
Oh, I like
anything?
Ouija boards.
I don't. Why do you like them?
It's to me, it's no different than communicating anything else.
Okay.
As long as you're closing it out properly and using it the way it's supposed to, it's no different to me than using dowsing rods or REM pods,
Hmm.
getting answers, or pendulums. It's to me, it's the same thing. It's just a
Well,
different way to communicate.
I get that, and I agree with that. But I think that my problem with people using it is that they don't know. They just think it's a game,
True.
and they get into some stuff that maybe they shouldn't be getting into, and then it gets deeper and deeper, and before
Oh,
you
I
know it,
agree. I'll agree with that 100%.
yeah.
I mean, excuse me. I've seen it where people's doused with Ouija boards, and some things have come back on them. But
Mhm.
after they realized it and we sat down and had to talk about it, things started changing. Um, but to me, I like Ouija boards. I mean, when I die, I'm going to pass them out at my funeral, and that's the way I'm going to
Well,
contact
there
them.
you go. A little take-home gift, a doggy bag, as it
Yeah,
were.
little bitty ones is like, hey, leave it on your
That's
table. I'm coming back.
They made the Guinness Book of World Record there for doing the biggest Ouija board in Salem.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Do you remember that thing? I was like, my God, you can't get any bigger than that thing. I actually know the guy who has John Kozik, I think John Kozik. He has two museums for the which he calls them witches boards. He's
I
got one
think
here in Maryland, which is
I think he
hmm,
takes in witches boards if you send them to him and that you don't want them, right?
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
gave him one. He's got a place here, and explained to me that actually Maryland was where the Ouija board was set up. And I had asked him, I said, how did it get the name Ouija? And said the board said what it wanted to be named, according to the story.
Hmm.
And I think I'm probably going to get this one wrong, but I think Ouija meant good luck or something along those lines. Like it was nothing bad. So,
I remember my mom telling me back in the day she actually had an original Ouija board, and I wish I still had it. The old wooden ones,
mhm.
and the old theory behind them was when somebody died, their spirit went to it,
Oh, okay.
and that's kind of way they come up with the deal with the Milton Bradley ones, I think, too, a little bit. But then they got more modernized, and they got the little thin stuff, and it's not the old wooden boards that were thick that
Hmm.
carried actually the energy with them.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least with the wooden boards, you would have the energy there of everybody,
Mhm.
and you know, very cool.
That's one thing I kind of like to do when I get a little bit of time, is I'd like to set up my altar from what I learned from the shaman classes, and mix it
Hmm.
in actually with some crystals and a Ouija board.
Okay.
That'd definitely
Okay.
be something unique and have a lot of energy that goes with it.
Yeah, I talk about that in my book. Like, there's no set way. You're going to hear some things that I think should be on them. That
Hmm.
doesn't mean anything. You put on whatever your heart and your gut tell you is right.
Exactly.
It's not going to make sense to somebody else, but it's not somebody else's, it's yours. So you set it up the way you want.
Right.
Um, I couldn't take books anymore. I was like, they gave diagrams of where to put stuff. No, stop it. And unless you do the spell this particular way, it's not going to work. Stop it. So,
And
I,
normally, if you're in contact with your guides, they'll show you what you need to put where.
hmm yeah, I've got Hecate is my goddess, and my spirit guide is an Indian man named Whitefeather. I've
Hecate,
known him.
Hecate,
Hecate.
Hecate is one of my guardians as well.
Anytime things are going a little haywire, I'll ask him for a feather, and inevitably a white feather will show up where there's absolutely no reason for it to be. So
Oh yeah.
I'll always enjoy that. And apparently he's well known because the paranormal group I was in years ago with Dave Bruce, there was a chap there named Jose. I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, he went pale when he asked me what my spirit guide's name was, he goes, "No, no, that's mine. What does he look like?" And I explained. He goes, "No, no, that's fine." I said, "Well, he gets around. He takes
Hmm?
care of a lot of people. I don't know what to
Right.
tell."
They can be more than one person's spirit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hecate is, I've learned a lot from her with some of the stuff. And
Hmm.
even Lilith comes around. A lot of people don't like Lilith, but she's around.
Hmm.
And like I said, Anubis. So, yeah.
That's because all they've been taught is what negative it is.
Mhm.
You know, the mother of demons and this, that, and the other nonsense. I think there's a movie coming out about Lilith.
I think I did see something of that coming out.
Yeah.
One of the very first interviews I ever did when I started doing podcasts was with a guy. I'm not going to say his name, but he actually summoned demons to help him do things.
Oh, okay.
That's all he did. He would summon demons.
He wasn't worried about the cost.
Nope. And
Okay.
the last time I talked to him, he even had an apprentice. Yes.
Okay.
And I
That
mean,
was
he is a very smart person. I mean,
on,
when
no doubt.
we started doing podcasts, one of the things I noticed, and I was going through my Menaki rights at the time as well, I would notice him, he would sit there and he would do this. And then all of a sudden I'd be doing it. We would start getting headaches from each other. Because
Really?
the energy was back and forth.
Okay.
And I noticed every time we were on podcasts together, me and that person, it's because of the energy difference between us.
Now I'm going to ask you a stereotypical question on purpose, but this is for everybody watching. Did he look like someone who would summon demons, or did he look like you and me?
Look like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
That's
think
the other thing I wanted to get across was
I
that.
don't think you would ever know it unless you would actually sit and ask and talk with him about it.
Yeah, that's the
But
thing. People pass us on the street, no matter what the us is, and that they don't know. But then you have these people that go on TV with the black rimmed eyeliner and the this and the that and the. It's like, oh, just stop it! You're not helping us. You're really not. If that's your gig, that's your gig, and
well,
I'm
some
happy.
people do it. Some people do it for attention. I mean, I
Yeah.
do know somebody that I'm friends with, and they have a gimmick, and they've got their darker side, and that's the way they dress, and that's the way they do their show. And she does an amazing job.
Okay.
And that's Victoria Darkwood.
Okay. Can't say that I know the name, but now I got to look it up.
Yeah, she does an amazing job, and she's got several guests that she's got come on, and they talk about everything just like we do.
Okay. Have you ever done astral projection?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tell us about that.
Being able to break the plane, going to where you want, make sure you're safe about it, because if you travel too far and not know what you're doing, things can happen. I would recommend, if you do it, wear an obsidian bracelet, especially if you're a rookie at it, because it keeps your body intact when you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
I have ran across some friends that I've come across in the playing field that not even realized it was me, because I have a different image when I'm there.
Oh, really?
And
What
they do.
You just look different, or
Black wolf and blue eyes.
oh, okay.
Because that's one of my wolf. That's my animal guide. One of my animal guides. So that's what I come across is the black wolf with the blue eyes.
Have you ever told the people that see but don't recognize you, "Hey, I saw you such and such"? Did you ever let them know that you've seen them?
Actually, when I started going to shaman classes, one of the ladies there was actually reading my tarot cards one night and flipped over the wolf. And I was the second one she ever flipped the wolf over for.
Okay.
And she says, "You're in the playing field, ain't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." The black wolf with the blue eyes, and she knew who it was after she read my tarot.
Okay. I hate to admit, but yeah, I've gotten out of practice from it because life, But I used to go and visit the house I grew up in, and apparently I put on quite a solid looking, picture when I'm there. And I turned the corner, and the new owner had come around and looked and was just like freaked out. Well, that same week, there's a grocery store, a little bougie one down at the end of the street. And I'm walking in there and I turn the corner and who do I see? But that woman. And I thought she was going to pass out. I just went about my business. She kept a
Yeah,
wide berth though. She would not get anywhere near me.
actually, place I go to the most is going to see my girlfriend that passed away,
Okay.
because
Okay.
she passed away about 3 years ago, and she's one of the first out of the three full apparitions I actually seen. She showed up not long after she passed,
Hmm.
and she was standing right in front of me, and her hair was not the blonde reddish tint it was like silver gray.
Okay.
And I said, you come back to check on me? She nods her head. I said, you have more power than you ever know. And she nods her head. And said, you come back to check on everybody else that you were close to. And she nods her head. And I said, you'll be around all the time. And she nods her head. And she
Oh,
walked straight out my living room door,
okay.
right through the wall, straight out the door,
That's so cool.
and just left. And then 3 days later, that's when I got Guardian. Somebody dropped Guardian off to me and said, this is to keep you out of trouble. And she always
Right.
said, her dog was her best friend and always kept her sanity. So I was laying in bed about 3 o'clock in the morning, and Guardian just started going ape shit, and my ears just started ringing.
Okay.
So evidently, I was hearing what he was hearing, and all of a sudden, it was her voice
Hmm.
that come through, just like me and you are talking right now,
Right.
and told me several things. And she also said, you're able to cross the veil at will,
That's so cool.
and then showed me how to do it. So whenever I get kind of alone, that's
Hmm.
where I go see her.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, don't say how to do it on here because you'll you'll get no harm intended to anybody out there, but you don't start out with a Porsche. You start out driving like a Volkswagen. You know, I don't want anybody to like flit off into space and not
Yeah,
be able to return mentally. So
but yeah, she said you're one of the few that can cross at will. And
okay.
I link that back to Anubis as well, because he's the keeper of the dead.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now, when you see him, does he have the dog face or is it a
Hmm.
cat face or?
He's got the
Okay.
dog fish. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I like all of the I've always been drawn to like
Egypt and
Anubis
stuff.
and yeah, Egypt. Thank you.
Hmm.
Can't little mouse wasn't going around.
That's
Um,
one place
I
I'd
love all
really
that
like.
stuff.
That's one place I'd really like
Isis
to
is
visit.
another goddess of mine.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, Egypt is one of the places I'd really like to go to. I'd like to go to the pyramids.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So well, we're up at the top of the hour almost, and I got still some stuff to do to finish out. Can you please let us know how we can get a hold of you and all that fun stuff? What you got
You
coming
can,
up?
you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube and All Access Network Television under Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. And I have my podcast show every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
It's an awesome show. It's an awesome show. Okay, I'm going to put you in the back room, and I'll be right there.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Trace.
Oh, no problem, hon. I am ending a little bit early tonight, only because it's thundering and lightning and everything else outside, and I don't want to take a chance. So, thank you again, Trisha, for fixing my situation up here. I swear to you, before I had to ask you for help, it was there, and oh, you can see the lightning that just came up. Anyway, if you have a question or concern, or you need somebody to talk to that you don't feel comfortable with asking stuff about the paranormal to anybody else, ask me. I've heard just about everything that there is. Send me a message at paranormalwhitewitch@gmail.com. You can go to my Facebook page and look for Tracy Lynn, TraceYLYNN, and you'll see my face and my husband's face on there. You can leave me a message and I will get back to you. Please remember that my book is now on Amazon, and Witchcraft by Blood and Tradition, a beginner's guide. It's a very easy read. I teach you how to make your own apothecary. I teach you different symbols, like bird symbols, what the feathers mean, what candle colors mean. The one thing I tried to get across throughout it all is it's your intent. if you go into something, you can have all the pretty crystals and candles you want, but if your intent is not there, nothing's going to work. You can have then the most intent and be spot on with it and not have any tools, as it were, to help you, and your spell will work. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to get out before the thunder comes around again. So I will see y'all next week. Take care. And let's see if I can do this right.
There are signals all around us. Most of them go unnoticed. Some are born able to sense them, born with the veil still present, a mark set to thin the boundary between worlds. For a white witch, the boundary never fully closes. It becomes something you can see through, something you can feel. Respond not to fear the unknown, but to understand it, to listen when it reaches back beyond the veil with Tracy Jones.